just gonna go live one more time. Since I used copyrighted music, I'm just gonna stop using music. Even if I want to do a theme song, I'm just gonna stop using music because I go live for so long, and then I use music in the first 3 seconds of the video, and I can't upload it at all, which really sucks. So yeah. So I'm gonna just talk about this latest piece I made. You kind of saw the beginning of, and maybe even a little bit at the end of. But this will be the left forearm, which is pretty sweet. This is probably my favorite piece of armor that I've made so far. My favorite piece of armor that I've made for the armor. My favorite parts of the armor that I've made so far anyways. It looks cool. I mean, it looks really neat. And it's all like raised and different, as you can see. Yep, pretty much. So I just wanted to go live for a second time just because I want to upload some video that had the name 18 on it. I want to see if we can get a better look at that. Look at that shot. Yeah, this is my favorite piece of armor that I made, and it makes the forearm just look boom, like you're gonna go hit the crap out of somebody with it. It's really cool. Yeah. So since the other video didn't upload, I just wanted to have something to upload with the number 18 on it. That's really about it. I'm gonna throw on the full. This is the left arm, right? Yes, this is the left arm. I've seen it. Just might as well throw on the entire left arm and do a little test to see how that works. For right now, anyways. Mobility-wise, which is kind of crazy for how kind of big this piece is. But just kind of want a little 360 there. And like I have good movement with the arm, so it's really not bad. It doesn't have to come up much higher than a nice 45 right angle, really. It goes out like I'm shooting it pretty well. Yeah. So yeah. It's really coming together. I don't know how well the shoulder is gonna fit on the armor itself. I kind of hold it in front of me like this. You can sort of see the shoulder might fit a bit weird, but I'll figure it out, I'm sure. But for right now, it feels pretty well. Feels pretty good, Yeah. Yeah, it feels good, it feels good. For how bulky this piece is, yeah. That side, front side, all the way in the back. There we go. All right, sweet. So the left arm is definitely my favorite piece of the armor that I've made. I'm gonna go on the right arm really quick, just to display what all is made. Might as well, since I couldn't record the entire making of the arc reactor there, the spot that the arc reactor sits in. I feel bad about screwing up and playing copyrighted music at the beginning of the last one. So, basically what I did in the last one, though, was I just made this little pocket for the arc reactor to sit in. And the arc reactor is just one of those push lights. That's kind of how that looks. We're going to see the other arm fits. Yeah, these shoulders were very difficult to make, but it only took me one shot to make them, which is what I like. Even though they were difficult, I didn't have to remake everything. This other arm is a lot less bulky for right now, because the other arm just looks huge compared to this. But the reason this is a lot less bulky is there is going to be a tank sitting on this, like a little water bottle or something, that is like the gas tank for the flamethrower. And there's going to be this little bit. I'll mess up a pen and I'll just paint the pen silver and I'll put it right here. If you look at the reference images, you'll know what I'm talking about. There's the latch parts that shows two different pieces put together. And when all of this is painted, it's going to look really cool. There's the back. And this arm has much better mobility than the other arm. It doesn't go up as far. There's a lot more space in the elbow. And I'm going to go for 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. And what's cool is this, is I can just do this, and it all fits in the shoulder. So it's great for packing it up, which is nice. Those are the latest 2 bits of armor I did. Yeah, I can just throw that up as close as I want that to the camera, I guess. No, take it away. So, I did a little rant in the last video, so I might as well put that rant in this video here too. I got to see the person that designed the Mark I armor, the first Iron Man movie in 2008, at Ace Comic Con. I saw him while I was waiting in line for Stan Lee to get my photo op, and just watching it up on this big computer television screen 100 feet in the air, it was so cool hearing him talk about why he liked, yeah, there we go, get nice and comfy, why he liked the Iron Man Mark I. And, you know, I know why I love it. Yeah, he liked it because it was the first armor he had to work on, right? I love it because of its design. So most Iron Man suits are very smooth and aesthetic and just, it's weird saying, like, the very, like, meaning or definition of something being aesthetic is, like, pleasant to look at. But for me, just because everything's all symmetrical and smooth and, like, flowing like water, doesn't mean it's, like, pleasant to look at for me. I like to see how everything is built, right? When you look at the Iron Man Mark I, this little guy, I keep looking this way to look for comments. Sorry, you have to just keep looking at my jawline the entire time. The reason I like the look of the Mark I is because I can see how it's made. And because I'm somebody who likes to make things, it's really cool to see like exactly how something's made. Like you can tell, like, oh, this is a piece from a missile. You look at this, you're like, there's a water cooler and a tank and a fan on the back. The piece that gets the legs to move and hook up to the waist, those are like little tank treads, you know. If you wonder, like, how does he take off? How does he fly? Like, what's causing this suit to fly? There's a little tank of gas or whatever in the back here. And then you think, oh, but, you know, what weapons does it have? Well, it has one little missile compartment, and you can see the compartment easily. Like, in the Mark 7, or really it's like the Mark 3. I think it's the Mark 3. It's in the first. The Mark 7 is in Avengers. The Mark 3 or something is in the very first Iron Man, because he makes Mark 1, then he makes the Mark 2. The Mark 3 is the first red and gold version. And in that one, he has a tank missile, right? He still has the missile, but it's so smooth and put into the armor that you wouldn't be able to tell that it's there. You know, this armor, it's like, oh, this armor has a flamethrower. Well, there's a little gas tank, right, on the side of it. You can't really see the action figure very well, but I'm just using it as reference. Like, there's this little gas canister that, you know, has fuel in it, that then he presses a button or whatever and it shoots flames. You know, you can see all the wires that come from the arc reactor that go all over the other armor, and then the entire back. I have nothing on the back of my armor right now. It's completely blank, but the entire back is riddled with wires and a little water cooler tank and a fan and like all these little bits of metal and engineering and stuff. You have no idea what they do. It's, you know, that's why I like the Iron Man Mark I. It's also why I like the War Machine armor so much. Like the War Machine, he has a Gatling gun, he has missiles, he has a 12-gauge shotgun, he has little SMGs, he's got all that stuff, and you see all that stuff on his armor because it's big and bulky. I like big, bulky, like armor, something that doesn't look smooth, not just armor that's big. Like, I don't like the Hulkbuster armor because it's just big and bulky, you know. Like, it's cool armor, don't get me wrong, it's big and bulky, but then again, you see, like, what's its weapon, what's its main cool thing? Well, it punches things, and sure, it has repulsors, but those are just like the normal Iron Man armor, they're built into the palm. The War Machine armor, it has a Gatling gun, and so it's got a big Gatling gun on the shoulder. It has missiles. They're not built into the armor or whatever. It has them built in like this little missile pack right here. It's got SMGs. They're on the arm, but because they're actual guns, they're out so far, you know, being big SMGs on the side. So he points and he shoots. He's got a 12-gauge shotgun. It's under the SMGs, you know. Even the Mark, like, 2 or 3, the Mark II War Machine armor looks very much like the Iron Patriot armor. It was seen in Avengers: Age of Ultron for a very short time. I did not like that armor because it followed the Iron Man look. It was less bulky. Its chest piece wasn't as big. Its thigh pieces weren't as big. There are even like weapons on War Machine's thighs that he has, like extra ammo and whatnot. And the Mark II War Machine armor for me was just bad because the actual War Machine armor is made from the Mark I, and they just put stuff on the Mark I, so it you can still they put stuff on the Mark II Iron Man armor to make the Mark I War Machine armor. The Mark II War Machine armor is a completely different suits, and it's more lean with Iron Man. It has a Gatling gun because War Machine has to have like a shoulder cannon some way or another. Like he has to, because that's really what sets War Machine apart is the cool guns he has on his shoulders. And even then, but it looks so much smoother and sleeker. Even the Iron Patriot armor that James Rhodes had in Iron Man 3 was a lot smoother and everything. And I didn't really care for that. So when they went back to the more original War Machine roots in Civil War, the War Machine armor there had a much bigger chest piece, and it had, War Machine had like this riot baton, right? That was kind of like the Star Wars riot baton, pretty much. But, you saw him, he pulled it out of his shoulder, right? There's a little shoulder place. Like, that is where that weapon comes from. He has a Gatling gun. It flips out of the shoulder thing. It still doesn't look like a cool Gatling gun, right? It just looks like a machine gun sort of thing on the shoulder. But still, it's neat. You see where it comes from. You see he has pockets on the side that hold armor and guns, and you can see some guns on his wrists. That is what I like to see in my armor. The Iron Man armors, they have all this cool stuff. They have all this arc reactor power, and they have everything like that. But it's also like, it's very tell and not show, because it doesn't show it has all this cool power and cool accessories. It just kind of has it, and it doesn't actually show you where any of that comes from. And that's why. So I was working on something. I wasn't just sitting here ranting about comic books. I was actually working on the armor. As you can see, we put in the chest piece. I can actually grab the thing here. I need to figure out where the top two are. There we go. I made the original chest piece a while ago. Oh, happy birthday. I can say, I believe that's still today, right? Yeah, anyway, so that's kind of how that looks. I won't put it right in your eye. So that's kind of how the arc reactor looks for the Iron Man Mark I armor. Is it going to fall back out? There it is. That's what I built, but the first video I accidentally used copyrighted music, so I had to delete it. So I'm just doing a quick second video just to show off what I built, because the first one can't be uploaded without me most likely getting sued, which kind of sucks. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about the Iron Man armors and everything. That's really about it, and I was talking about my love for the Mark I, how cool it looks, because it's big and it's bulky and it's whatever. So there's that, and there's also going to be a bottom kind of waist piece I still need to attach to this. It's over there. I mean, all these pieces are made except for the helmet, and just getting everything attached is going to be crazy. But already, I'm trying to figure out, like, for costume plans, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do for this year. Like, I want the Iron Man done by November, hopefully. Yeah, if it's on plan. But I also need to help somebody else needs armor made. She doesn't know how to make armor, so I'd gladly step in and make some armor, mostly because she knows how to sew, and I might have to have help sewing things. So that's totally works out. But I also need to make I was going to make, working on the Ash vs. Evil Dead chainsaw, I was going to make that anyways for SodakCon. And I was going to make the Ash vs. Evil Dead, like, arm, the little arm Pablo makes for him. And I also need to make, because she asked specifically for the horror panel, which I volunteered to be in, because it's really cool. I like being in panels. I don't do a lot of panels, and I don't have ideas for a lot of panels, but I think panels are awesome, and I love it when people do them. So I'm going to be Ash in that panel, but she asked for a Necronomicon to be made. So I'm pretty sure I can make that actually out of, like, some Mod Podge, cardboard, duct tape, stuff like that. But putting, like, paper in it, like, actually having pages, I don't know if I need to have Necronomicon pages for it. Hopefully I don't, because I'd probably just end up wasting a bunch of printer ink and printer paper. Since I'm not going to go through and draw all these creepy things, I would just print them off and put pages in it. But, like, making a book is not my strong suit. It'd be very difficult to actually make the Necronomicon. But instead, if I just had to make an open close book face, book back, something like that, it would be super easy to do. So I need to understand that all the cosplay goals that I posted on Facebook, everything that's like make the Stormtrooper costume, do that costume, might not happen just because I need to work on. I want to make the cool Captain America costume from Infinity War. You know, I want to make the like black Wakandan shields he has. I want to make that. I want to make the Iron Man armor, and I want to make the Soldier 76 gun. And I might end up. I probably won't make the Stormtrooper armor this year, even though I really wanted to make the Stormtrooper armor. It's probably not going to happen this year. Maybe I'll change my mind if I like rewatch, you know, The Force Awakens or something. But it's just not going to happen this year. Everything else hopefully will happen. The Overwatch costumes I want to make, those will definitely happen this year. I can find the time for those. My Kamina will definitely happen this year. I'm going to find the time for that. I'm going to be Ken again this year. I mean, that's already made. It doesn't really matter. And the Iron Man armor is going to happen this year. I started it in 2016, and really I actually started making it in 2017 of January, so it's been over a year since I started making it. But that is going to get done this year. It's just now that I need to help make armor, and now that I need to help, not help, but now that I need to make a Necronomicon, and I already need to get my chainsaw finished and get the hand finished before SodakCon. So that's like 3 props for 1 convention. So really, when it comes down to it, it just means like the bigger costumes, like the Jean Arc from Volume 5 of Ruby, or Volume 4 and 5 of Ruby, probably isn't going to get made this year. Stormtrooper's not going to get made this year. You know, and hopefully that's it. Hopefully those are the only 2 that I won't have time to make, because there are just so many costumes that I want to do and just do not physically have the time to put them in. And that's not me being like, oh, I got work or whatever, I don't have time. I already try to work in this shop 4 hours a day. Like, I started working just today at 3 o'clock, and it's 8. And all I got done was putting in this little piece because of how many times it took me to cut and measure and stuff. So, you know, that's my own fault for being kind of scatterbrained and everything. But still, I have a lot of big aspirations for this year. And the goal is to not mess up, really. So we went 17 minutes. So that is good enough for me. We had a fun amount of people join. We had Josh. What a guy, that Josh. And I think that'll probably end this video. I just wanted to redo it because, like I said, I had copyrighted music in the other one, which really sucks. If you have any questions about my trip, go ahead and ask them now. If not, I'm just going to end this, and I'm going to go eat dinner. I think, yeah, that'll be it. So that was it for the prop shop. Like I said, we did make the arc reactor. There were certain bits of that we did make in the other video. You just missed them. I wanted to make another video just because. So that is where we are at. There's a little bit of a cosplay update here also, since I'm going to be helping other people make costumes, which is awesome. I love that I can finally take this thing that I've been using for myself for so many years and help other people make costumes with it. It's really amazing. So I think with that, we are going to call it quits. So adios, amigos.